Thank you so much, Gina. Let's get you caught up on some of the stories we're following this morning. Right now, there are concerns over possible cracks in the state's child welfare systems after the recent murders of 3 Arizona kids.
So the agencies designed to protect at-risk children apparently are not talking to one another. And a state senator is calling his DCS stakeholder meeting at Arizona's Capitol to address problems and try to find solutions. The concerns coming to a head after the murders of 14-year-old Emily Pike, 16-year-old Zariah Dodd, and 10-year-old Rebecca Baptiste. We spoke to Arizona Senator Corrine Warner, who wants to address issues in the system during a joint legislative oversight committee on DCS next month.
Now, she says there is a long list of flaws, including methods of reporting suspected cases of abuse to DCS and which reports warrant investigations. Last year, state legislature passed a bill that was supposed to tighten up these child protection policies. The bill requires DCS to submit reports to state lawmakers. Well, Warner says her office hasn't received a report yet. Meanwhile, child advocacy organizations like Child Help will also be a part of this meeting next month.
Yeah, they're one of the many groups calling for change in the child abuse reporting system. So Elaine is live outside the Capitol to tell us more about this. Good morning.
Good morning, Scott. Tess. There were multiple reports to DCS in the case of young girls being murdered, but leaders at one organization tell me that reporting system likely failed these girls and potentially other Arizona kids out there. I spoke to leaders with Child Help, a nonprofit organization that aims to prevent child abuse. They tell me there are too many regulations and thresholds in place for a child abuse report to turn into an investigation. Child Help's Michael Maduro says if a report does not have very specific and statutory language, there will not be any action taken in the case. He tells me the current system is reactive and wants to see it become proactive. And the first step to doing that is by knowing the signs and symptoms of child abuse.
There are a variety of signs of child abuse. Physically, if there's bruises, if there's loss of hair, if in this 115-degree heat you see them wearing long pants and long shirts, those would be some indications that there might be some physical indications of abuse. If a child becomes withdrawn, if they become more remote, if they start distancing themselves from family and friends, changing up their activities in a way that seems more isolated and alone. These are very clear symptoms that something may be going on, and it's our responsibility to act and to ask.
If you see any of the signs and symptoms of child abuse just mentioned there, Child Help urges you to make a child abuse report, and you can learn more about how to do that by clicking on this story now on azfamily.com. I reached out to the Department of Child Services, and we did not get a response back, but Scott, Tess, that meeting with lawmakers, law enforcement agencies, and child advocacy groups like Child Help is set to be on September 3rd, where they're going to investigate the state's child protective services system to see what went wrong, because clearly children are falling through the cracks. And so that's why Arizona's Family is going to continue monitoring this investigation closely and bring you the latest developments as it comes through, guys.